So, if you haven't heard about what happened over the weekend, I think this video will bring you up to speed. Watch. I have always said this, right? Having a mercenary group in Africa has never been a good thing. In fact, if you ask my own opinion, I would say that it's a terrible, terrible idea. Just imagine what happened over the weekend. The Wagner group having a mutiny against the state. Just imagine that. And you must remember that this same group is a group that was put in place or that was partially put in place by Vladimir Putin himself. He has used this group to carry out so many activities all over the world. And this same group has been very, very successful in carrying out their activities. In fact, they have become so big. And if they could go as far as threatening their own master, if they could go as far as having a mutiny in Russia, what does that tell you? What does that tell you? And they are all over Africa. They are in Burkina Faso. They are in Libya. They are in Central African Republic. I think they are in Mali. They are helping these countries maintain security, so they say. I have always had problems with having foreign boots on African soil because I personally believe that they do not come there or they are not there because they love Africa or they love Africans. That's not what they are there for. They are there in Africa for their own interests, for their own benefits. This same Wagner group is a mercenary group, which means that they work for the highest bidder. They are what we call stewards. If you pay them, they work for you. If you do not pay them, well, they won't work for you. And just imagine this scenario. Just imagine it. Okay, let's just think out loud. A day may come when we do not have enough money to pay them. I mean, those countries that are now hiring them. What do you think will happen? What do you think will happen? A day may come that they must have been infiltrated by other agencies or other people who do not love to see peace in Africa. What do you think they will do? Have you asked yourself that question? Wasn't the same thing that the CIA told us they were doing in Africa, that they were helping us bring back security? Wasn't the same thing the French told us when they came to Mali about 10 years ago, that they will help us to fight jihadists? What happened till now? We have many, many jihadist groups, and still yet we don't have security. And there were speculations that France was the one helping some of these jihadist group, allegedly. There were allegations about that. In fact, I think Malian Prime Minister said it at the United Nations that France was the one giving things to some of these jihadist groups to fight against the government. They said it. And now we are wholeheartedly welcoming the Russian mercenary group in Africa, thinking they will help us. Well, I mean, for the short term, they might do that. But have you guys ever considered the long term? Have you guys ever considered what might go wrong in case we do not agree with what they want to do? If they can stage a mutiny in Russia just so they can get their way. Remember, Russia is a far more bigger military power than most African countries are. And if this same Wagner group can force the hand of Russia, can force the hand of the Ministry of Defense to give them what they want, what about tiny nations like Africa that has nothing in terms of military power? What about that? They will just crush us within hours. And yet still, we feel so welcoming. We feel so happy having them on our soil. I hope our leaders in Africa are thinking this through. I hope they have considered this very, very thoughtfully. And I hope they have dot all the I's and cross all the T's. Because my fear is when this same Wagner group will get a foothold in Africa, when they will found Africa as a place where they could settle happily and peacefully, they won't want to leave. They would not want to leave. And would we blame them? Who has ever left a place they found conducive? Who have ever left a place they think is good for them? You must ask yourself that question. This is very important. This should be like an eye-opener to all of us who are thinking that having this mercenary group in Africa is a good thing. And I understand I am not stupid. I am not naive, even though some of you guys may think me to be that. I understand the enormous challenges that we face in Africa. I understand all that very, very well. But we must not enjoy short-term pleasure against long-term pain. We must always set our goals on the long term, not on the short term. We must always reevaluate things. We must always think of what will happen if things go south. We must always consider all these important facts before making any big decisions like having foreign mercenary groups on African soil. But you guys out there, those of you in Central African Republic, those of you in Mali, those of you in Burkina Faso, those of you in Libya, what is your take on having this Wagner mercenary group in your home countries? Do you think it's worth it? Do you think they are doing what the national army cannot do? Have they really brought back peace to your respective countries? Share your thoughts and opinions with us in the comment section below, because like always, we value them. And also, do not forget to like this video, share this video, follow our Facebook page, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel, because little bit of goodwill, like the one you're doing just now, help us a lot, and we shall forever be grateful to you. So thank you very much for doing just that. And like always, see you in the next one.